So this is going to be my presentation. I'm going to have the camera pointing at the computer because otherwise you won't be able to see anything, and that's the whole point of this whole presentation. Okay. So in this first column, this is my field experience document. This first column. So this is all of the documents that I thought were most applicable for like this actual class. So for example, we have the observation notes, which we used in our classroom observations, and I feel like that's something that's particular to this classroom. As well, this assisting letter as well. And though that could be used in other classrooms, I felt because I only have this one folder, I felt it was most applicable here as well. Same with the character evaluations and an academic language article thing. So in the next column, I have stuff I can use in my own classroom once I start teaching. These were just a bunch of the links that you put in the Moodle site that we had. So we have the morning activities. So like these are just like routines that you can make for your kids, and I thought that was really great to have as something to reference to for my own classroom in the future. Same with student progress charts. That's something I should have, and especially student data folders for parents. Like I need to have that stuff for kids so that their parents know what's going on in the classroom. They know how their children are doing. The pair share ideas I thought were also really fun because I want to have a very interactive classroom. I want all the kids to be able to talk to each other and be able to think out loud with each other. The place to collaborate with others, that's just like a digital, it's a place where teachers can collab and like help each other with other things, and I thought that was pretty fun to have, and I would use that when I'm in my own classroom. Instruction for reading, I would need that because I might need help and like references for when I'm trying to teach a child how to read, and like there's a problem child that I'm not getting through to or something like that. Not problem child, but someone who's struggling more. I would use that and see if there's any methods that I could use. For the responsive classroom, I'd use that so I could have that interactive classroom that actually responds to me and isn't like just dead silent the whole time, which would not be ideal. The fishbowl strategy, that's just some teaching strategy that I thought would be fun to use within my own classroom. Checking for student understanding. This is something that I would use to check my own students' understanding within the classroom so that I could assess how well they're taking in the information, or if I'm giving it too fast, or if they're not processing it well. The jigsaw, that's just a link to some jigsaw strategies that we could use, and I want to use jigsaw. I think that's a pretty good idea for kids. Reflection strategies, that's obviously for reflection. Like I would use that to have reflections for like children, because I don't think it'd be too hard, but like maybe I could find new ideas for reflection because it can get pretty boring, review is. So teaching vocabulary, obviously I need to know how to talk to the kids and like the correct vocabulary used with the kids, because sometimes they won't understand some things that I might say even. And then my last column is lesson planning. This one I have a bunch of things that I would use for when I'm planning my own lessons. So for example, I have the lesson plan that I made for this classroom, and I would use that. I could possibly use that in my own classroom if I teach second grade. So I'm going to have that as a reference to when I lesson plan my own stuff later in student teaching as well, because then it'll be like an example paper for me to use and reference to. The English standards, I will need these when I am making my lesson plans for any classroom that I am, even if it's in the future, like my actual own classroom. So there's that. And then the SELT students, I'll need to have information on those kids if I end up getting any students with a SELT score. And then framework for lesson planning, I need that because I will need something to help me create those lesson plans, those in-depth lesson plans for when I'm in those classrooms, student teaching and stuff. But anyhow, that is my Padlet for Field Experience 1. I have another Padlet for like all of my education documents, and that one's pretty fun, but here we go.